Most of us have some level of money guilt around where we are financially, irrespective of how much we have or we don't have. And it may seem really hard to believe we could ever feel bad about having a lot of money. But surprise, we do. So watch this video to find out why that ugly guilt monster makes an appearance just as we are upping our money game. Hi there, I'm Michelle. Welcome to my channel where we talk money and having more of it. And today I want to tell you about a client of mine. Let's call her Stacy. Now Stacy joined a small IT startup straight out of college. And while she didn't make a ton of money, she absolutely loved the mad energy that every day in the workplace brought. And 10 years later, the wildest thing happened. That not so small startup anymore was acquired by a big IT company, and Stacy's share options hit the jackpot in a big way. But instead of feeling like she'd won the lottery, Stacy felt a ball of dread settle in her guts as she pictured telling her parents. She could see her construction worker father bringing up her lazy ways and her pretend job where she only seemed to learn how to spend money, and her housekeeper mother looking disapprovingly at her new bag and commenting on the hoity-toity ways she was learning from those rich snobs she was hanging around with. Stacy had gotten her first taste of money guilt. And while it's incredibly hard to believe we could ever feel bad about having a lot of money, we do. Most of us have some level of money guilt, and it doesn't require a big windfall to bring it on. It could simply be that we are earning more than our peers, our parents, or that we're just more focused on building our wealth than our circle of friends. And the guilt can arise because we aren't where we want to be money-wise, or we have ended up somewhere financially that's outside of our wealth comfort zone and that of our family and friends. And whether the situation causes an emotional response because it's outside of our money beliefs or because it's not where we want to be financially, what our typical response is to suppress the feeling. And this results in us taking sabotage actions. Take a look at how many lottery winners end up in a worse financial position after they've won the lottery than before. And while guilt in itself is not a bad thing or not a terrible thing, because it can invite a certain level of introspection and self-awareness if we're open to it, and it can teach us really valuable and useful lessons so we can take positive actions going forward. However, if we aren't open to exploring where it's really coming from, it can become a trap for making really poor decisions. So let's take a look at how we can combat that money guilt. The first thing we want to do is uncover what is driving the guilt. So an indicator of our guilt driver is the story we are telling ourselves about the situation. So what narrative have you got going on behind the thoughts? Rich people are selfish, greedy, obnoxious. You have to do great things to be rewarded, or the old favorite. Money is the root of evil. Secondly, where is this narrative coming from? Is this a story you brought forward from your childhood or an experience that created a belief you unconsciously subscribe to? And thirdly, does this narrative stand up to interrogation? Is it a story that can be refuted and as a result, a belief that you can reset? The second thing is to know yourself. Guilt caused by a wealth differential could be a tricky place to be in that much of this is driven by the story you're telling yourself around who you will be or who you will seem to be with your money. And chances are, if you're feeling guilt, this is a negative story. The truth is, and we all know this, is that money and success cannot change who you fundamentally are. You are still you, and the values that are your values will remain those values. Ironically, much of the discomfort we feel is likely to be caused by the fact that we believe subconsciously that having this money is outside of our value system. So it makes sense then that we need to mitigate the money guilt by aligning the money to what we value. And this calls on a great deal of introspection and knowing what's important to you. But it's changing that mindset from money being a bad thing that's going to change you to money simply being a tool that enables you to live within your values and to achieve what you want to set out to achieve for yourself. The third thing is consult the experts. Money shame can lead to disorientation as we navigate this whole new terrain. And it's more often than not without our peer or our parental example as a guidepost. And this is when money is lost. So a must do is to see an expert. Lay out your goals, your ambitions, and yes, of course, your values. And a good financial planner trained in the way of life and lifestyle planning can help you make that transition to the new paradigm in a way that feels aligned with those values and authentic to you. And as you find your footing in the new terrain, don't forget to appreciate the gift you have been given and the differences you can make in the world, and embrace gratitude. As motivational author Andy Stanley says, guilt rarely results in positive behavior, but gratitude, great things flow from a heart of gratitude. So for more talk about the markets, money, and other things that build a wealthy life, pop over to herwealthiq.com and sign up to my newsletter, please. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it and share it with any other ladies who want to change their financial story. For financial education and money talk designed for women, subscribe to my channel. And I am hugely grateful that you listened to this entire video. Thank you.